Henry, thank you for joining us. Um, all of my friends over there in Kingston, thank you so much for joining. Hey, well, Sheffrin, yeah, I'm live on YouTube too. But thank you so
Right.
much for joining us, everybody. Welcome to the Hello Neighbor Show. We will stay with you tonight until just after 9 o'clock, or maybe 10 o'clock. Well, thank you so much that you have joined us tonight for this beautiful show. We want to talk about the various things happening in the news. Thank you so much for the hard me's. Thank you for tapping and sharing. Thank you for all that you do for the show. Let's get the show on the road for this Friday, the 5th of June 2025. It's a Friday night and you're up and about. Where are you? What did you do today? What do you have for work? What do you have for lunch? Thank you so much, Sharina Burke, for joining us. Thank you so much, Penny. Uh, Penny, for your thought. Thank you so much for joining us. Marco Seven Gems, Donna, welcome. Welcome to you on YouTube. All of my listeners over there on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Just that you will stay with us until the very end. Lorna Bennett, how you doing? Roxy Smith, forever. Want to say happy birthday to Joyce. Joyce Major celebrated her birthday today. Yardi Diva, well, thank you for joining us. Let's get the numbers up to 100 very quickly. Share the live. Tell them that your neighbor is on. Hashtag neighbor. Hashtag neighbor. Let's do that. Lorna Bennett, how are you? Thank you for that gift, Lorna Bennett. Gigi Smith, thank you so much. Let me see who is there with us. Yeah, well, we see Caroline. Neville Whitaker, Marine Garden, Omolo. Thank you so much, Omolo. Thank you for the hard meets as you join. Please remember to share the live. Tell your neighbor that your neighbor is on. 7 o'clock, 13 after 7. Thank you so much for staying tuned with us. And DJ Jamaica, what's up? You all right? DJ Jamaica, fantastic. Great to have you with us. Container homes, rebuilding houses or rebuilding dependency? Who is it that pays? Hashtag neighbor. And let's get this, drive this up. Hashtag neighbor. Tell them that we're on and we'll be on for the next couple of hours. Hey, Novlet Williams, how you doing? Ricardo Ricketts, how you doing? Great to have you. Great to have all of you here on the Politics Plus Network, the Hello Neighbor Show. Lots of things happening in the news, and a lot of things to cover. But we're going to focus a little bit on the container homes tonight. I see where Marlene Malahoo Fort, she's lost her husband. Condolences to the former Minister of Constitutional Affairs, former Attorney General, Marlene Malahoo Fort, lost her husband today. Sad to hear that, Marlene. Hope that you will continue to be strong. The long-awaited Troy Bridge, which straddles the border between Northwest Manchester and South Trelawney, has officially been opened. The Troy Bridge is now officially open. The Prime Minister was there today opening that bridge. Congratulations to the people of Troy. You now have a brand new bridge. There is some news about a Jamaica Labour Party councillor beaten up in St. Anne. There's a video circulating on social media. Appears to show a physical altercation involving councillor for the Brownstown division. That's the Brownstown division. the Jamaica Labour Party's Kim Brown. That's a developing story. The government today passed the bill to draw down $60 billion. $60 billion from the National Housing Trust to support the government's budget for the current fiscal year. So the Senate today passed the bill allowing the government to draw down $60 billion from the National Housing Trust. $60 billion. All right. Of course, the opposition is objecting to that, but nonetheless, that bill passed in the Senate. What a horrific incident over there in Manchester. The police have named the father and son execution style in New Forest. Terrible killing over there in New Forest, Manchester, early Friday morning. The father is 68-year-old Hubert Ferguson, otherwise called Bestie, and his 33-year-old son, Floyd Ferguson, also known by his stage name Fido. So there was a horrible execution style unaliving over there in Manchester. Really, really terrible. We hope that that matter will be brought to justice and that the horrific, crime on the island will continue to go down. All right. Those are a little bit of what is happening in the news. I see where the People's National Party patriots have called for the resignation of Mr. Darling from the FLA. The Minister of National Security is standing by Mr. Darling. We have not been able to look at the FLA report just yet. Maybe sometime next week we could spend a little time and look at that. But for what it is worth, the People's National Party was raising cane over the tabling of the report. Now that the report is out, I'm not so sure that there is anything earth-shattering in the FLA report. Let me jump over to Florida and say good evening to my moderator. Moderator Caroline, how are you doing? Hi.
Hi, Dave. Good evening. How are you?
Boy, I'm hot, Caroline. The heat is on.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? How's the heat in Florida?
Oh, well, it's pretty hot, neighbor, but it's not so bad. It's not unbearable.
Not unbearable. Well, it's getting really hot in Jamaica. Have to be drinking a lot of water.
Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you loud and clear. Yes. Loud and clear.
Well, water is good. You should do one.
Yeah, loud and clear. So all's well. I can proceed. Go forward.
Of course, but just before you go, good evening, everyone. Asking everyone to tap the screen, share the live, send the heart knees, repost the live. Okay. All right, neighbor. Have a great show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So the Prime Minister is suggesting that 3,000 container homes came on the island today. 3,000. Now, these container homes will be, of course, used to assist the residents who would have lost their homes during the passage of the hurricane. The government is suggesting that more homes are on their way. As a matter of fact, cumulatively, there will be thousands of houses, container houses, to be distributed to Jamaicans. But container homes are not free. someone pays. Therefore, even symbolically, I am suggesting that the people getting the container homes should pay something. I am suggesting that the container homes are not free, and that the people getting them should pay something. You see, without contribution, we do not rebuild houses. We rebuild dependency. And the Prime Minister has got to be careful that he does not foster the narrative of the People's National Party, which he has been trying to dismantle over the last 10 years. I am not saying that the homes should be sold to the people. That is not my argument. My argument is that if it's even 1% of the cost, the residents receiving the homes should pay something. And I want my listeners to tell me if you agree that the container homes are not for free. I'm not saying that the people should pay for them. I am saying that, as a matter of fact, let me even say this, that there may be those people receiving homes, container homes, that are, based on an assessment, they just can't do nothing for themselves. Well, I'm okay with that. But I can't see how you're going to give a container home to people who are working or can work. I just can't see that. I don't see how taxpayers are to foot the bill. Oh, what is happening? Moderator, what is happening? Okay.
Nemo, did you have a power cut? What happened? You froze for a bit.
No, I did not have a power cut.
Okay, well, continue.
Okay. All right. Okay, I hope you're hearing me. I'm not so sure. Hearing me now. Okay. All right. I'm going to put the argument to you. And good night to you, Charmaine. Good night, Wally. Good night, everybody. There is nothing material without costs. Nothing. The containers may be donated, but the foundation is not, or the foundations too may be part of the 1.4 billion gift that the government got. To call them free is to hide the bill that shifts it to someone else. The fact of the matter is that the container homes are not for free. And if you hide the cost, it teaches the people that value has no source. The container homes are not for free. That's the first lesson. The law of costs. The law of costs. You see, ownership is not title alone, you know. Aristotle argued, you see, that what a man labors for, he guards. What a man labors for, he guards. And John Locke argued that property begins when a man mixes his labor with the earth. It is by the sweat of your brow that you eat bread. That is the universal law. By the sweat of your brow. As a matter of fact, the New Testament doubles down on that and said that if a man will not work, he must not eat. Imagine that. Imagine the divine law that tells you that if a man don't work, he mustn't eat. In other words, a lazy man must starve to death. A man who refuses to work should not get anything to eat. If a man can work, he is to work. And I am not into this giving away of container houses, you know. I'm not into it, you know. I'm not suggesting that I'm giving the government any advice. I'm telling you my personal position that I'm not in for a welfare state. I don't believe in it. Had I the authority, I would restructure the PATH program, you know. I would restructure the PATH program and I would make PATH a pathway. You're not getting on my PATH program without doing something. You know, when I see government have to be paying companies to clean hospitals and all of them something. Anyway, that's for a different argument. Let's continue with that. You see, when a person contributes labor, sweat, money, or even symbolic hours towards a home, the home shifts in their mind from a gift to mine. This is not a gift. It's my home. I labored for it. I worked for it. Because the fact of the matter, you know, is that a gift can be discarded. You can throw it away. But a thing that you build, something that you work hard for, you try to maintain it. Lend people your car and see how them treat it. contribution creates the internal boundary between theirs and mine. And without that boundary, maintenance dies. Go look what is happening on Spanish Town Road, on those high-rise buildings. Vandalism rises and the asset decays because they get it for free. You know, there's an argument that human dignity rests on agency. And agency simply means I acted. And because I acted, therefore I have standing. I have invested in this. I think we have to begin by recognizing that the dependency in the society did not originate with the Jamaica Labour Party. It didn't even originate with the People's National Party. You see, Jamaica's colonial history created a society in which economic power was concentrated in the hands of a few, while the majority were trained to depend upon decisions made by others. Under slavery, under the plantation economics, initiative, the fact of initiative was often punished and obedience was rewarded. So on the plantation, you never had any initiative. You couldn't take any initiative. What you did on the plantation is that you follow order. Whatever the slave master say you do, you do. In other words, people lost their agency. They don't sit down and depend and wait. There was no driving force. And although the people were laboring, they were lazy. Have you ever heard that paradox? That you are laboring, but you're lazy? Because it was only the body that was engaged. The mind was somewhere else. So while they labored physically, but psychologically, they were not working. And so the colonial state functioned not as a partnership. There was no partnership between the citizens and the government. What the colonial masters had was what is called paternal authority. They were like parents. And it is this sense that one could argue that the modern political patronage that Jamaica has practiced is not new. It is a continuation of old patterns of colonialism. And therefore, the politician becomes a patron. And all that patron does is replace the old planter, the old colonial administrator. Citizens come to see benefit not as a product of collective national effort, but as gift dispensed by powerful figures. Did you know that Labor Day in Jamaica is not the same? Labor Day in Jamaica. Do you remember when Labor Day in Jamaica, communities would really come out? From this perspective, the challenge is not merely economic reconstruction, but psychological decolonization. NARA has a powerful role to play, you know. Not only to reconstruct, but to decolonize. Because, my listeners, there are two competing visions of government. And I'm going to critique what I call the welfare state. We're talking about the container homes tonight. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you why the government would be well advised to get the people contributing something. Tap and share, send their heart me, repost the live, let your friends know that we are on. And of course, yes.
Asking everyone to keep the comment section active as well. The live is very inactive, please.
Yes. So do that for us and stay with us. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this later on when we open to you to speak with us about 7:45, but maybe 8 o'clock. We have a little way to go. So there is two competing visions of government. Two. The first one is where the state is seen as primarily the provider. The state, the provider. So there are some people who feel that the government responsible for them. That the government give them land, give them house. Did you know that there are communities in Jamaica where the residents do not pay light bill, and they don't pay water bill, and they don't pay rent? You know that? Now, in 2026, and let me tell you this, where I live, if my light bill is late by 7 days, they cut it off, you know. It cut off. If my light bill, and the majority of Jamaicans listening to me tonight, you are paying for thousands of people light bill. Because the Jamaica Public Service Company charges based on the power they generate. So all them people where you see a throw up light tonight, you and I paying for it. It compound fuel light bill. And all them people where you see are going to get container houses, we are pay for it. No matter, nothing not free. We must be careful, you see. We must be careful in this country not to create a welfare state. And I am not suggesting that this is the trajectory of this government. It is the opposite. And that is part of the pushback against Andrew Holness. The moving away, the decolonizing of the minds. It's a powerful thing. It is a necessary thing. But the middle class is burdened by the debt. When a welfare state is established, it is the middle class that bears the brunt of the cost. My light bill can't owe for one week. JPS cut me off. But there are people in this country that from the day them born, then don't pay a light bill. From the day them born, then don't pay a water rate. From the day them born, then don't pay a mortgage. And those are the people tonight. Those are the people that are going to the dance, floss with them Heineken and them Red Stripe and them Dragon Stout, in the very expensive sneakers, expensive hairstyle. Some of them drive, and you know something, what happened to me one day? I went to pick up something from someone. And when I arrived, it was a little house. Just a little, part of it concrete, part of it board. And when I moved in and look inside, inside there cool, the air was blowing out, because, when you have AC, you have to kind of trap the air in so you burn less electricity. And in the cool, the people them had AC in them house. Then they on part program, but them have AC in them house. You know how much middle class people can't afford one AC, but them have to pay for the part program people AC. And them there's something they need to talk about in our country. And it's not a political argument. It's an argument of equity. Nothing no free. So then you have the welfare state. Now, the welfare state is where the government is seen as the pooper. Government is the provider. And so people look to the government for solutions. They look to the government for resources. They look to the government for housing. They look to the government for employment. They look to the government for relief. There is something in this country that is called Christmas work. Every December, every member of parliament get $5 million to run Christmas work. Think about that. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't provide temporary employment. But government is not your provider in that sense. There are too many people in Jamaica that can work that refuse to work. There are too many people in Jamaica that some of them must be taken off the part program. You can't depend on part program and have AC in your house. Huh? And I drive car. How you afford it? Because when nighttime comes, you throw up your light. And you run electricity like wow. And the teacher and the nurse and the police and the people who have small businesses have to struggle. And when for them light bill due, JPS cut it off. Them are something that we need to address in the society, in the country. So you have the welfare state, the freed state. And then you have the second one, which the state becomes the enabler. Government under this model creates the conditions in which citizens can exercise responsibility, take initiative, and ownership. The first model is a model that has been perpetuated by the People's National Party, and it is a problem. The Jamaica Labour Party is more aligned to the second model. The People's National Party finds their currency in being a provider a state provider, a distributor of resources. Trickle down, they call it. That creates a society that places the burden on the middle class. But you know, long ago, Aristotle argued, you see, that human flourishing requires the development of virtue. Human flourishing requires the development of virtue. And virtue emerges through participation and responsibility, not passive reception. I have quoted Moltmann on this program many times. And Moltmann was a fantastic theologian. And what Moltmann said is that responsibility is not a detachable burden that you shift to the shoulders of others. You don't shift responsibility to people's shoulder. You're an adult, you turn up to your responsibility. If you cannot afford children, stop having sex or protect yourself. That's responsibility. You can't want to go bareback, and when the woman get pregnant, you walk away and path picks that up. No, sir. You know, today I was in Kingston, and I saw about half a dozen young boys at the street light wiping car glasses. And I don't know if many of you know that I have done much in this area, you know, because when I saw them, it rubbed me hard. Rubbed me hard. I could tell you stories that would break you down of some of the things that those boys at the stoplights go through in Kingston. I remember, you see, and I hope I don't get into trouble for telling you this. I spoke to one of those young men, and he told me that, he said, "Sir, you don't know what I go through on the streets." He said that one night he was picked up. I think it's too graphic, so maybe I should let it be. Maybe I should let it.
Asking everyone to repost the live, please.
And he was taken to somewhere in Kingston, in a nice place. I'm talking about the boy on the street, the boy with his pants down, wiping car glass, got picked up in a very expensive car, taken to an expensive place. And when morning come, then carry him back, come put him back on the street. You know what then carry him they go do? I leave that to your imagination. Where is his father? When daddy dead? 12 years old. Years old. And the boy tell me, he says, "Sir, let me tell you this. And a little me got through at that stoplight here." So I said, "Man, when him carry you go," him said, Them carry me go a expensive place, expensive place night. And when morning come, them carry him back home, left him right back at the stoplight. And when evening come, the car pull back up. Car pull back up. Gone with him again. Now, I will tell you this, that if, you know what, you make them something and steer you here because it enough me know, enough things me here. And so when I saw those boys at the stoplight today, and I'm going to use my platform and I'm going to appeal to the government, get the children off the street. Take them off the street. Boys and girls, and I'm going to say this, if it was 5 girls at the stoplight in Kingston today, they would have been removed. You know why we would have removed them? Because we are going to say, oh, well, the girls are vulnerable. Men will pick them up and abuse them. I will have you know that the boys are undergoing the same thing. The same thing. There are men who pick up these boys off the streets, take them away, and bring them back there in the mornings. That is not hearsay. That's evidence, I can tell you that. I know that as a fact. And it boils down to what caused them to be out there in the first place. That is very complex, and I'm not going to deal with that tonight. Not going to deal with that. But as Moltmann said, you don't shift responsibilities to the shoulders of others. And there is this thing in this country. There's a Andrew Holness. Them talk about Andrew Holness like say are them daddy or them man or them baby father. Andrew Holness with Andrew Holness with what? Andrew Holness with what? We must in this country get our people to understand what is responsibility. That's why I don't support no free container house. I don't support it. I'm not saying that people mustn't get the houses. My argument is, shouldn't be for free. It should, if I even $10,000, not for profit. If it's even to give them some work, make them do some work, man. Sign them up for some program and make them go work and pay. They must participate in their progress. We have to break the cycle of dependency. It'll kill we. We have to break the cycle of dependency. The paternal state. Not no go so. Virtue emerges through participation. Participation and responsibility. Not passive reception. I stretch out your hand. I saw a man today come up to me. Hello, sir. Good morning to you. I am come from Mandeville and I want $100 to buy a bread. Sir, Sir, you was a man and you beg another man $100. You mad? I don't give away money like that, you know. I don't give away money like that. Go downtown, man. There are some higglers down there. They would love to get a man help them carry them load into the market, and they would give you $300. You turn up out a road a beg. Mad, you mad. If a man can work, he must work. And how you going to give a man who can work a container house? How? Why shouldn't he work for it? Why should a man who is healthy bodied can work? Why must he get a container house for free? I don't understand. Help, yes. What about his contribution? It is moving away from the very divine instruction which says that by the sweat of your brow you eat bread. God says so, you know. No, me says so, God says so. The Bible says if a man refuses to work, that man must not eat. In other words, he is to die. If he refuses to work, he is to be allowed to die for hunger. You know, I tell you this every day. I tell you this every day. There is not one bird that 5 o'clock tomorrow will remain in its nest. None. Every bird tomorrow morning will get up out of its nest, fly where it not even know where to go. Go find food for its young and hard-toned man. Sit down in bed, a church out in hand, expecting container house. When the bird built theirs. The highest form of God's creation becomes a beggar. Is it not a shame to beg, brother? Is it not a shame to stretch out your hand and ask a man? Look at how much land in Jamaica. Yam is $500 a pound, you know. Go a country and see land there. Waiting for the government to come. You know, excessive state paternalism gradually weakens civic responsibility by encouraging citizens to rely on government rather than their own associations, families, and communities. The strongest criticism of a welfare state is not compassion. Compassion is necessary. Yes, we must have compassion. Like, can I tell you this? Can I tell you this? No government have more compassion than Jesus Christ. No government. And there is a story in the Bible, you see, of a woman with an issue of blood. The Bible said that she had an issue of blood for 12 years. 12 years. She's having her period for 12 years. Maybe fibroids. She's bleeding for 12 years. If I were preaching that, I would take you into the sociological life of that woman. Because that woman is weak. And by the purity laws of the time, she was not even supposed to be in the crowd. Because in ancient days, when a woman was seeing her period, she was considered ceremonially unclean. Did you know that 2,000 years ago, when a woman was seeing their period, they had to leave the house. They couldn't stay with their husband. And if the period lasted for 7 days, she couldn't go back, you know. There was another week that she had to stay out because she was considered unclean. You know how she got healed? Go and read the story. The Bible said she pressed. Oh, she pressed through the crowd. All of those people sitting down in Westmoreland waiting. She pressed, weak as she was, sick as she was, bleeding as she was. She needed help, so she pressed. You have to get up. You have to press. Because had she remained where she was, Jesus would not have found her. It was not Jesus that found her. It was she that found Jesus. She pressed and touched the hem of his garment. When you need help, you press for help. You don't sit down waiting. You get up. You think she was the only woman in that crowd with an issue of blood? No, she was not. But she was the only one pressing. Press on, people. Press and find your solution and your help. And stop, sit down. Compassion is necessary. The criticism is that when welfare becomes detached from participation and responsibility, it risks diminishing human agency. I want you to understand that. Don't tell me about compassion. I am talking to you about human agency. We must not devalue people by giving them things. You devalue the human agency when you hand things to them. You don't help them. When you give people things, you don't help them. If I came on this platform and sat down in this chair and say nothing, none of you would give me anything. If I just came here and sat down looking at you, none of you would give me anything. I wouldn't have 150 odd people watching me right now. You contribute because you value what I do. It's work I work in. And no chicken me a jerk. Work me a work. Oh, well, you know something, I would actually eat a piece of jerk chicken tonight. Charmaine, can't buy me a piece of jerk chicken. Yeah, anyway. So the goal should not be welfare versus no welfare. We're not talking about welfare versus no welfare. The goal is that welfare should lead to wellness. Welfare should lead to wellness. And I don't think we understand dependency. I don't think we understand dependency. Let me see if I can help. You see, dependency is often misunderstood. People do not become dependent because they are lazy. No, it's not because they are lazy. Dependency is learned. That is why mothers wean their babies. I don't know if you know this, but your baby can suck breasts up to 5 years old, you know. And when he's 6, All when the picnic at 10, he will still suck breast, And if the child keeps sucking, you keep on producing. But you have to wean the child. And weaning is not dependent on the child, Because you always want the titty. It's not dependent on the child. It is dependent on the mother. It is the mother who determines time. Come, baby. Yes, you love the breast. But guess what? Milk can't do it. Milk is for the early stages of your development. You need hard food. Milk alone can't do you. Dependency is learned. It is a learned behavior. That is why birds kick their young ones out of their nests. They kick them out. As soon as you see that creature can fly, it takes it out of the nest and leaves it alone. Go and fend for yourself. That's how nature teaches. There are some birds who take their young one out of their nest and lets them go fly or sink or drop to death. You better fly. Dependency is learned. And crises, repeated crises, train people to expect rescue. If someone constantly begs you, don't give them all the time. Because they do not learn agency. They learn that whenever they are in a crisis, call you. Because every time they call, you send it. Don't tell them you don't have it. Tell them no, not this time. Don't have to lie. We don't have it. I'm sorry, can't help you this time. You are helping them by teaching them to be a person of agency. You are helping them not to be dependent on you. Because when you train them to be dependent on you, you are hurting them. You are hurt them. When a baby is ready to be born, it's not the mother that initiates the process. It is the child. After 9 months, I'm coming out of this. Whether the mother likes it or not, the child is coming out. You better get to the hospital because it's coming out. That is not a process that the mother initiates, It's the child that initiates that. I'm not depending on you anymore, mommy. Not in this womb. I'm tired of this space here. I'm coming out. Oh, mommy said, oh, it's painful. I say, I'm coming out. Oh, but it is so painful. Me, I come out. I'm not telling you no longer. But me can't bear the pain. Oh, I'm coming out. Dependency is learned. And we need to release our people from this learned behavior. Because Jamaica is not going to become a wealthy country if more of our people are not participating in the wealth creation, but are only receiving what other people are working for. We have too many interdependent citizens. We need more independent citizens. And after a disaster, people learn certain patterns. They wait for assistance. They wait for the grants. Oh Lord, I hear say grant a out. They are wait for mine. Wait for your check. And they zinc off of your house. They right out of your yard gate. You know, I heard a man talking to the Prime Minister. Man is a fisherman. And the man said, in roof blow off and in losing boat engine. And the man said to the Prime Minister, I can put on back my roof. As a matter of fact, him saying put on back in roof already. He said little leak there, but he pick up the zinc and put on back in roof. And he said if he can get in boat engine, the boat engine will put on back in roof. Now that is a man you help. Some people sit down and wait for grant. They zinc the right out of the yard gate, you know. And they don't pick it up. Because guess what? Government have give out grant. They wait for the politician. They wait for the NGOs. They wait for the relief. This waiting mentality can become rational. If survival depends upon external aid, dependence becomes an adaptive response. The danger comes when emergency psychology becomes permanent psychology. 7 months after the hurricane and some people are still waiting. They haven't made the first move yet. They still are wait. And they have the politicians. I tell them the lie. So wait, man, wait. Andrew fi do it. It's Andrew. Andrew say container house a come. Andrew say that a come. You don't get for your check yet. You don't get for your something yet. And somehow people feel government is responsible for them. But a healthy recovery process has 2 dimensions. It has the rebuilding of physical structures, and it has the rebuilding of personal agency. In other words, there is the physical rebuilding and there is the psychological rebuilding. So are the containers homes really free? Are the container homes free? 300 came in the island today. Could I get one? I would have loved one of them container house. That do me well. Charmy, you don't want one. I'd have loved one of them. 1 2-bedroom container house. Tap and share for us, please. Can I get one of the container houses, please? I bet you say they don't give me one. I bet you say me not get one. I pay taxes in this country. I am contributing positively to the nation's development. And I can't get one container house. Imagine government ship container house from China. Carry come to Jamaica, build foundation, put it down, and give it to people for free. And I'm not going to be liked for saying this. Not going to be liked, but I don't care. All when they get the house, some of them still now vote for the government. I mean, I say that it is political. I'm not saying that. I just throw that in. Drop that the stone in the pond. Me. Anywhere the ripple go, it go. Anywhere the ripple go, it go. All when they get the house for free, some of them will not credit the government for it. They still will sit down and cost the government. Because, you know when me hear one man say, they argue with furniture in them too. Hear them, them go furniture the house them too. Imagine that. Government ship house from China, build foundation, put down here. And the people them talk about say, if them are go put if them if them are go furnish. Oh mighty God. I tell you the truth. If them are go furnish them. I bet you say them people will get them container house. 100 of them. I wonder how much of them are going to turn back in the next election and say, yeah man, government help me. Let me support the government. You may say that I'm being political, but I'm telling you the truth. It is true. It is true. It will not change their political views. And to God, I am making an appeal tonight to the minister. I need one of the container house, please, sir. I beg you. Me not live nowhere. I'm making an appeal. Sorry. We're on the okay. I beg in a container house. Minister, if you're listening to me, please. Give me ever one of the container. Right? Me don't live nowhere. See one lady say, I'm paying NHE for me 18 years and I can't get a house from them. You can get a grant, you know, Ines. You can get a grant. I can deal with that NHT matter in a podcast for you. Okay? Yeah. Are the container house really free? The homes are not free. The recipient may pay nothing directly. However, taxpayers fund the acquisition, the transportation, preparation, infrastructure, and maintenance associated with these homes. Either somebody contributed or the taxpayers will have to fund these homes. And I am not funding no home when I won't even complete that statement. Comrades, remember when you get these homes, just remember, the costs for the homes are distributed across the society. We are paying for them. Nobody come with the rank. Nobody come with the no tastiness now. We are helping you to get a house. And you can't keep tearing down the government when the government is putting you in a house. It don't work so. Some loyalty is necessary here. You can't just cuss out the government when government give you a house. What can go so? Is that man going paying for these houses, you know? Is the taxpayers of Jamaica. And this is not an argument against the assistance. I'm not saying that the people don't need the assistance. Not saying that at all. What I am saying is that the people getting the houses must recognize that Every citizen contributes directly or indirectly to the national recovery. And the recipient is receiving a home funded by the collective sacrifice of the nation. Don't just take the house, laugh, and not realize it is the collective effort of the nation that gives you this home. And in that regard, I am making an argument that the recipients should contribute something towards the ownership. I am suggesting that the people getting these homes should contribute something towards owning it. Not because they owe the government, not because they are undeserving of the homes, but because contribution changes the psychology, the psychological relationship between citizen and asset. In behavioral psychology, it consistently shows, you see, that people value what they help to build. People value what they help to purchase. People value what they help to maintain. If at even $10,000, every recipient should pay something towards receiving this house. Even a modest contribution creates a sense of ownership, a sense of participation, a sense of responsibility, a sense of stewardship. The contribution is not large. We're not charging you for the house. The objective is symbolic, and it is the principle. The principle is, I'm not merely a beneficiary. I'm not merely a beneficiary of this home. I am a participant in the creation of it. Can we do that? Can we put in place a system where if it's even $10,000 per home, the people pay it and become participants in the owning of their own home? So instead of giving the homes entirely free, government could create a national recovery partnership program. So I am suggesting that the government creates a national recovery partnership program. National Recovery Partnership Program. You listening to me? For example, the government provides 95% of the housing costs. So let's say the house values $500,000. The government covers $475,000. Now, 10% of 500,000 is $50,000. Let's say the government covers 95 up to 98% of it. And it says to the owner, you cover 2%. The National Recovery and Partnership program. Nothing of this value should go to people for free. Nothing. A man gets a check for $500,000 and does nothing for it. I mean, can somebody just please, I beg you tonight, give me 500 grand. See how you have yard for chop? Can somebody please, may I beg you? Can you give me 500? I would cut your yard for the rest of the year. Wash your car. You have a car where you want to wash? Just give me 500,000. I beg you. And you don't have to wash. I will drive. May I beg somebody, do give me 500,000. May I beg you, do government. You can't give me 500,000. Me's a well-behaved citizen. Me not get no trouble in the land. And you can't give me $500,000. I have damage to my house too, you know. Nobody no look for me. My house flood out. Water coming in the roof. Mash up. Nobody no look for me. We can't get a 500,000. Wow. You know what a bless. Oh, let me take a break at that. Oh boy, I tell you, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm thirsty. Can't get 500 grand. Fix back my roof. Roof a leak. Hurricane Melissa mash up it. I'm not getting no help. I am suggesting that the government create, in addition to NARA, NRPP. This program is going to be suggesting that the government of Jamaica creates the NRPP, the National Recovery Partnership Program. Recovery is not only on government, it must be a partnership between the government of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica. Government must not cover all the cost. The people must be involved in providing some of the cost. If they can't pay now, they must owe it. And they must pay it. If it's even 1%. If the house value 500,000, if it's even 10,000 out of that, the people should pay it. If they even need to pay it 5 times, but every time they get a little change, they must go to an agency and put it down to say, this is my contribution to the National Recovery Partnership Program. Because some of these people that have gotten the $500,000, them people from foreign send them enough money already. And they get other contribution. Some of them end up with all $1 million. Much was given to them. Listen to me. We must fix not only the physical infrastructure, we need to fix the mental infrastructure of the nation. Not free. Nothing is free. The government needs to create a partnership program where residents contribute a small amount towards the receiving of their homes. Give them the home, give them the keys, but let them sign a contract that over the next 5 years or so, every month, I will give $2,000 until my portion of it is paid. That gets them to be part of the ownership of this property. They will care it more. They will value it more. They will see it as something that they earned and not something that was simply given to them. It is the psychology of it. Government is not trying to make money from them. What government is doing is trying to change their behavior, to give them agency, to move them from dependency to interdependence. That's what I'm suggesting. Christmas coming up. All right. You can work. So when Christmas come, you go get a piece of road, yeah? From Yaso to Deso. You will keep it clean. Over the next 6 months, clean that piece of road, yeah? That is your contribution to your house. How much it value? Well, sir, it value $30,000. All right? That is your contribution. See that gully there? That gully there want clean. You go get one house. We're going to give you one house. But you see that gully there? And your responsibility to clean it out for the next 6 months. You want to tell me that we can't do that? Then I am going to get a house. And government said to me, say, all right, as a partnership, me are going to make you clean out the gully. Government have to give you the house and then pay to get your gully clean right at your yard gate. Right at your yard gate. So you're going to get the house, the primary school, in the evenings, after school, Miss Maisie, you're gonna get the house, ma'am? Yes, Prime Minister. Okay, yes. All right. You can't afford. No, sir, cannot. All right, no, but you can work. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, I can work. All right, ma'am. No problem. After school close on Monday to Friday or 3 days a week, go down to the school, ma'am, with your broom and your mop and sweep up the place, tidy up the place. How much it going to cost? Well, over the period of time, it going to cost $30,000. That is your contribution. You are contributing to it. Community service for the house. You work, put the people to work. Christmas walk. Christmas a come. The street must be cleaned. Because you get a house. How much $1 million for the house? And you get it for free. National Recovery and Partnership Program. All persons who benefited and got resources out of government for recovery of a certain limit must become part of the National Recovery and Partnership Program. Whether it is community service, yes, whether it is through when you get a job over the next 5 or so years, you pay $2,000 a month, if even that, to the Recovery and Partnership Program. And this money can go to the infirmaries, or it can be put in a savings account to help future recovery efforts, or you recycle it in the system. National Recovery Partnership Program. One Jamaica. Such a system would transform the relationship, because the home now ceases to be a perceived political gift and it becomes a shared national investment. The citizen is not a client. The citizen becomes a partner. The problem is not relief. The problem is when relief becomes permanent political relationship. 25 minutes to 9 o'clock. It's actually raining where I am. I don't know if you are hearing me well, but the rain has started, and I'll be happy to have you. I'm going to be returning to this program developing it as an idea for the government. If they want to take it, they take it. They don't want to take it, well, so be it. I'd love to hear from you, your views on this national partnership program that we are suggesting here, where all people receiving benefit from the government are to be enrolled into some program, and of course make some contribution to the gift they receive. Olympic Way, you are on. Good night to you. Hello. Good night to you, sir. Olympic.
Are you hearing me, neighbor?
I am hearing you loud and clear. Yes.
Yes, sir. I am here listening to your conversation.
Yes.
Or your monologue on what is happening and what should be done. You could not have said it better.
You think so?
That is what. Yes, sir. Because me and my other half here is listening to you. In the United States of America, there was a program developed for people who are unable to have a home. What's the name of it? Habitat. So there's habitat.
Okay.
In order to get a habitat house, neighbor, you have to contribute just like how you're talking. You have to go on site. You have to help with the construction of the house that you are getting.
Yes.
You also have to go, and a lot of Jamaicans in the United States benefit from this program too,
Oh.
Yes. And some of them will be the same one who tell you that the government must throw everything to the people. But let us just leave that part of the discussion, neighbor.
Yes.
When you think about it, neighbor, so the contribution, so Habitat has tours, and I'm in Florida, across the state of Florida. And the people, so they would get gifts from people that are more fortunate, right?
Yes.
And what will also happen is that the persons that are getting the homes, they also have to go into the Habitat store.
Yes.
For a certain amount of hours.
Yes.
To contribute back to getting the homes that they're getting.
And so it becomes a revolving scheme.
Exactly, neighbor. So this mindset that we have, that we believe that government, whichever government in power, must hand out, give us, is a sad situation. Very, very sad one, neighbor.
Yes, sir. As I listen today to the cost about 300 container home.
Listen to this, neighbor.
Okay.
I know she don't like to talk. She's telling me that even the ones that get the Habitat house, they have to contribute some $500 a month
Oh.
for the house even after. Yes. They have to, because we know people who benefit from it too, neighbor.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't understand the mindset. And I am a Westmoreland. I was there last week. Right? Oh, they have to have 3 children. Oh, 3 children or more. And no male can live in the house, neighbor. That is another part of it.
Okay.
So if you get the house, and you bring in the second party or man into that house, you're going to lose it.
Oh. Yeah.
Because it is not for a man that has what we have between our foot, neighbor, to get a free house. It is not that. You have to work. If you want to maintain that family, you have to provide for them.
Yes. So you are supporting the National Recovery Partnership Program that I'm proposing here. That all beneficiaries or at a particular, imagine you get $500,000 from government, sir.
Yeah, but I would do well with it right now.
Imagine you get five, and I heard the PNP, Mr. Dayton Campbell breaking that down into US dollars and talking about it is it is only 3,000 US dollars. It is only 3,000. Mr. Campbell, Mr. Campbell, 3,000 US dollars for free, sir. Who going to go 3,000 US dollars give me for free?
Let me help you with that. Ask him how much people in the United States have 3,000 US in their bank account sitting there. That is the question. It is a delusion and it is a poor sell of the opposition. And a man, neighbor, I know your phone, but neighbor, you see the same JPS workers that go, I was down in Westmont.
Neighbor, the sound is gone. We can't hear him.
A property for herself. So I am here assisting her at the moment.
Yes.
Even though I want to be a neighbor and we have a family place, she have to go there and look for hers.
Yes.
And you said something that is pronounced in a neighbor. Let me tell you what you said that is so pronounced.
Tell me.
Anybody that gropes around, come and fall, and rob a country and see bird, the mother hen and the bird, as you said it so well, the mother hen start with the chicken them,
Yes.
after them reach certain stage and say, wow, look.
Neighbor, one moment, please.
And when the mother hen scratching a neighbor.
Just a second, please. Could you check on what's happening on YouTube, please?
Okay, yes, it's I lost power just now. That was the problem I'm having. It's raining here in Kingston, and so we're out of power. All right.
The sound, neighbor, is it sounds like a scratching sound, like on metal. It's a very high pitched scratching sound.
Okay. It sounds like a scratching sound.
Yes, that's what's coming through on YouTube.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Yes, I'm hearing neighbor clear on TikTok.
Yes, just a second. Let us just address.
Maybe you're hearing the sound of the rain, but tell me, Shafrin, if you're hearing him any better. Go ahead, Olympic.
You're good, but the person who's speaking what's coming through is like a really high pitched sound. But your sound is good, neighbor.
All right, great. Go ahead, Olympic.
So yes, neighbor. So as you stated about the bird and the common fall, because if you have what we call common fall a country, when it gets to a couple weeks, I would say 3 to 5 weeks, the mother starts scratch and teach the young one how to scratch. After that, a couple more weeks after that, when she scratch, that chicken can't go there. Go pick up for eat. So if we don't teach the people, neighbor, how to do the things correctly, they will never do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely,
So
sir.
I don't get it where some people, some parents have some kids 30-year-old in them house and mother still a cook food give them to eat.
Well,
No, neighbor man, that can't work.
uh-huh.
So those are the fix that Westmoreland need.
Yes.
And the mindset have to change. And I was gonna say something else, that what I have observed down there. JPS has installed the light poles and connect back the circuits very well.
Yes.
But you know the problem that I see down there, neighbor?
Tell us.
Drainage, they have left the material that they dug up out of those holes in the drains that's supposed to take the water from off the hills and stuff. That's very bad of them. So
yes.
anytime the rain fall again, neighbor, all the dirt and muck goes into the draining system and block it up, and we wonder why it happened. JPS, you must do better than that.
Yes.
So, the people of Westmoreland, and you say it right, and it is across the country too. The mother, they must start feeding man them when they reach 24. They must have an objective. Where are they going? So, it is what it is at this moment with us. But neighbor, I am here assisting my young one. I'm putting up a fan on our patio. So I'm here listening to you.
All right, man. Take care.
Yes, neighbor. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much. All right. So listeners, here is the opposition leader and Dayton Campbell before we come in with Astute.
Money donated from fundraising drives by the government. There was a telethon that I was asked to participate in to encourage people to give money, which I did because it was a national effort. And over 1.4 billion Jamaican dollars worth of in various currencies was received in cash. And as at the end of February, 4 months after the hurricane hit, only 20 odd million of it had been spent. Less than 2% of it had been spent to help people.
Significant numbers of persons within the communities are still without water. We still have persons without electricity. Approximately just over 1,000 of them in Eastern Australia without electricity. And this is almost 7 months later. If you look at the roofs program again, which is the major program for the government, the point was made that if you had minor damage, you'd benefit from $75,000. It's about $500 US.
No, you hear that? You hear how Dayton Campbell just dismiss it. That's just about $500. Something is wrong with these people. That's just about $500. No. So why Mr. Campbell not give them the $500? Huh? Listen to it.
Just saw that. And if you had major damage, you get 200,000 Jamaican again. It's about $1,200 US. And if you had severe damage, then you get 500,000, which is about 3,200 US. No.
So why is he doing the calculation? He's doing the calculation as a PR strategy to lessen the impact of the amount. 500,000. That's just 3,200 US. How many people listening to me tonight in the United States, in the diaspora, that have $3,200 in your account? How much are you? How much are you listening to me? And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be bashful. I'm just asking you a real, true question. How many of you have $3,200 in your account now? Because me no have a shame and tell you, me don't have $500,000 put on. No way. I don't have it. I don't have $3,200 put on cash. We pause, I am here in Florida. I don't work that amount per month. Dr. Campbell must lift up. Lift up, Mr. Campbell. Out of order. Not me, sir. Me broke like a... Oh my God, G Keeper. Weepo, I don't. I don't have it either. As God, I don't have it. I would have loved if somebody took up $3,200 give me tonight. I would have stay up here all night till the morning. If I get $300, if somebody contributes $3,200 to me tonight, I will stay on this program until tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. I'm not going to my bed. I will stay up here until tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Moderator, tell me, if somebody contributes $3,200, I will do an all-night program. Dr. Campbell, your beard favor what? That is $3,200. No, nothing. So how much is enough? How much is enough? How much is enough? 10,000 US? 20,000?
It was made that if you had minor damage, you benefit from $75,000. It's about $500 US, just on that. And if you had major damage, you get 200,000 Jamaican again. It's about $1,200 US. And if you had severe damage, then you get 500,000, which is about 3,200 US. Now, we had 156,000 dwellings, houses that were affected. 40 plus thousand falls into
You know what was the total that the PNP gave in Ivan? $130. That's what the PNP gave for major damage during Ivan. $130 US. This government is giving $3,200. And the PNP gave the people $130. And this man a come on TV can talk about say, it's just $3,200. I am calling upon the government to create a program which sees the people of Jamaica contributing to their recovery. Go ahead, astute youth. Good night to you.
Blessings.
Go ahead, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was just here taking in the notes, and it reminds me of the very essence of what challenges we're faced with today.
Yes.
Because it is because of this same mentality where we have an issue where there's a void in the skills trade of people needed to reconstruct our country.
Yes.
But while there is only 16% of people in our country that has tertiary level education,
Yes.
I-46 only has been exposed, they don't even graduate, been exposed to upper secondary level education because we find that one, we have a state of dependency. So if someone is not giving it to us, we don't want to go out and seek it. We are waiting for someone, not we, because you have to understand that based on how you were raised, you would have developed a certain level of resilience, a certain level of ambition, because around you, the only way out in most of our minds was it's through education. Because
Yes, sir.
Things were so tough. We didn't have parents to hand us down anything because they went through a state of austerity as well. But now we're here today, and that's why I always say the PNP is a mentality, because a lot of the figures may have changed in the organization, but you hear the same foolish rhetoric being promoted.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just 500. Oh, it's just 1,200.
Yes.
Oh, it's just 3,200. There's not even in a first world country where government come in and just take up money and give to their citizens because.
But astute youth, a third world, well, a developing country like Jamaica, sir. We are not a wealthy country. We are able to give citizens $500,000 to help with their reconstruction. 3,200 US astute youth. That is not amazing.
That is testament to the kind of leader and leadership Jamaica has gotten over the past decade.
And the PNP dismiss it as nothing. Now, what does that say? What does that say to the people who have received it? How much should they have expected? And so here is the ingratitude. Here is the ingratitude. Because a man gets $500,000 astute youth, and somebody's there telling him you should have get more. Have anybody in your lifetime ever given you 500,000, sir?
Never.
Do you expect that someone will take that up and give you?
Never.
Oh, God.
Somebody come and offer me that would I start wonder one. Would I get skeptical? And I feel that something is up. Because nobody just gets up and gives somebody money like that, especially that large sum.
Whether you have in a crisis or not. Whether you have in a crisis or, let me ask you something personal, because it's something that I see happen to me today. If you should get into a problem as astute youth, who would you call?
I don't have nobody for call. I'm telling the truth.
Mighty God, but it's the same thing here. Who would you call? Let's say you had a major problem and you really need some money. Who could you call to say, help me out?
I am the one who is normally get called neighbor, so I don't know, to be honest. I'm the one who normally.
You're serious about that? What about your parents?
No, my parents told me from when I was 18 that I was responsible for myself. So that gave me a strong sense.
You don't have no friend. You don't have no friend. What about your brothers?
No, I'm an only child.
So you don't have no friend. You don't have no friend that you could call tomorrow morning and say, me need 4 tires for my car. No.
I'm not so fortunate. Only Father God have to depend on.
Mighty God. Listeners, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that, listeners? Go ahead, sir, please.
Yes, neighbor. So, I have always said, neighbor, it is important for us to continue to trust this government, to hold them to account, to trust this government, to work with this government, because what we have seen is that they've seen it. they presented on achievements. So many things to make mention of that the PNP would want us to believe that they didn't actually happen. I hear a lot of people say, oh, Andre is the worst leader. I am wondering if we're thinking of if we were raised in the same Jamaica. Because I remember a time in the 90s when people had dropped like flies, left, right, and center. I saw people who lost their very livelihoods and were now later seen on the streets eating out of garbage bins because of the actions of our government in the 90s. We have seen from time and time again where we used to have a manufacturing industry. Now we are grappling to build back our country because of those same people who wrecked the country. Thus, we lost our manufacturing industry. We used to have a place called Home Electrics. Jamaica used to make appliances. Jamaica used to have a place called Berwick. They used to make batteries. Neighbor, I am telling you, I always say this. Whenever I'm speaking to people, I always say to them, say, the worst
Good night, everyone. I am currently working on getting neighbor reconnected. It seems like there may be some issues happening in his area in Jamaica with the torrential rain that's happening right now. So he's going in and out in terms of with power um, and his internet connection. So just bear with us, please. I apologize for all this inconvenience and thank you for being here. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that, and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss another upload or whenever we go live again. Thanks, everyone. Hello, everyone. While neighbor gets reconnected, I guess we can talk. So I have a question for everybody, and if you, it's yes or no. So if the answer is yes, type one in the chat, and if it's no, type two in the chat, and if you don't know, type three. So the question is, do you think that the people in the West would vote for JLP in the next election after they get the container homes? So one is yes, two is no, three, you're not sure. Go ahead and put them in the chat. Let me see the numbers. She says no. Let's see them. Let's see your answers. Just put them in the chat. I want to see what you think. Okay. So far, there are a bunch of no's. Ungrateful. Wow. Wow. It's unfortunate. All right, let's see what everybody else has to say. 79 people remaining. Wow. So lots of no's. Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link. Anybody who wants to come up and talk to me about this, I'm gonna invite you to come and chat to me about this in the meanwhile while neighbor is getting all sorted out. I'm gonna drop this. If it would be nice to hear from you. Why? Why do you say no? Why do you say no? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. It's an overwhelming amount of no's. Why is it that they wouldn't? Why is it that they wouldn't? Do you think is it tribalism? Is it that they're afraid? Is it that they're afraid of going to the other side? Is it that they feel um, some kind of blind loyalty? What is it? Die-hearted. They're die-hearted. Okay, I want to know more about what that really means. Is it just blind loyalty? Die-hearted. So they would rather um, meet Jesus than choose something that's going to work for them. Is that what that means? Blind mouse. That is funny. Is that what that means? Does it mean that they would rather choose to go meet Jesus or the other one in the bottom side than to choose a government that's going to work for them? That is sad. That is sad. I think considering that there needs to be some type of education on, like choosing their own future. Wow, more persons who Vinny um back in Keisha with calling them ungrateful. Okay. Um wow. They truly don't understand that it's okay to show by voting for appreciation, not party. Interesting. So basically, they see politics as a game and not something that they should take seriously enough to choose their future and their children's future. And so that is quite mind boggling to me because I cannot understand how, and you know what? This is the part that I don't get. I know most of them have never met those MPs. And I've seen where some of those MPs have never lived in those areas that they're elected. And so it really begs the question as to what's causing them to be that way. Is it a lack of education? Sorry about that, everyone. Right. So, oh wow, they don't want to see a black man succeed. You see, that is the slave mentality that needs to end, right? Because I mean, we've come so far and we've had so many people sacrifice themselves for us to be free. But true freedom comes when you free your mind and you understand that you are the architect of your environment, and know that you play a role. You know, you have the agency of choice, and just to think that just going with the wind because everybody in your community and everybody in your vicinity goes with that wind, that can be quite detrimental. And we saw that with Melissa, when everybody, a lot of people actually in the West lost their board houses. That kind of tribalism and blind loyalty, that's what it caused. It caused them to experience homelessness and to lose everything. The question though is it worth it? Anybody from the West, is it worth it? Your blind loyalty to a party that is headed by someone who is a descendant of your people's enslavement. Yeah? That person is well in the group of people who receive reparations after abolition. You're running behind that person in, in, instead of the person who's actually trying to help you, the other person who has gone through the similar struggles like you, trying to help you, you know? Yes, and this one, I don't think it's skin color. They voted for PJ and Portia. Well, the black man time worked with them voting for PJ. And um I think that it was a lot it was apathy, voter apathy from the JLP that caused so many um so many terms for the PMP. And because they were afraid, during the time of PJ, it was like terror for anybody who supported the Labour Party. People would stay home so they don't get in trouble or get unalived when they go to vote, or get harassed when they go to vote. So you had all these same people going to vote and voting the same way and wrecking the country. Growing up, I knew nothing about JLP, but then I grew up being an adult. No one had was to tell me that the JLP is better for the country. This is common sense, Marcia. This is you seeing the results of one administration or several administrations from from a certain side versus a different administration, and you see the results, the difference in how the country has progressed. You see, that, Marcia. I wish the people in the West had the kind of sense that you had to realize and recognize what's good for you just by looking at the results and seeing the difference. You see, Vinny, this one gets me. I don't understand how someone can vote for a free food ticket instead of policies. And that is the slave mentality. That is the slave mentality because during slavery, our people had no choice, right? If they choose to use their free will, they could lose their lives, their limbs, their children, and be mentally abused, physically abused, just by using their agency. And you see, the one thing that they probably got, they may or may not get some, is food in exchange for working 12, 16 hour days, like horse. Like, so, I mean, like, that is a problem. Like, that is a slave mentality to think that you're going to go exchange your vote for something to eat. That is slavery in the modern day time. You exercising as though you have not, your people have not fought for you to be free. You see? So I have an update here from Caroline. Um, there is an island-wide power outage in Jamaica. So, so that's the update from Neighbor. You know, I have another question, right? And this one is um, similar to what we're just talking about. Which principle best describes helping people recover while encouraging self-sufficiency? Self-sufficiency, right? One of them, these are the choices. So there is dependency, entitlement, empowerment, and isolation, right? So A, dependency, B, entitlement, C, empowerment, D, isolation. And the question again, which principle best describes helping people recover while encouraging self-sufficiency? And you can put your answer in the chat. So A, dependency, B, entitlement, C, empowerment, D, isolation. Let's see what you say in the chat. C. So while you marinate on the answer for that one, which principle best describe helping people recover while encouraging self-sufficiency? And if you'd prefer for me to elaborate on this, put the number 4 in the chat. And if you want to answer, go ahead and put the answer. So A, dependency, B, entitlement, C, empowerment, D, isolation. C. Marcia Allen says C. Let's see some more answers and see what anybody else says. So that is which principle best describe helping people recover while encouraging self-sufficiency? Dependency, that's A. B, entitlement, C, empowerment, and D, isolation. All right, so I'll go into, so the answer is C, empowerment. So Marcia, that is correct. And you see, a good government empowers its people to dream and reach for more abundance than what they have. Like a good government inspire the people to want to become better and want change and better for themselves and their children and offsprings. A good government set up systems in place that would provide opportunities for people. Systems that would make it easier for them to have access to education, access to healthcare, access to network, such as roads, infrastructure, access to the things that they can use to empower themselves and build themselves. So whether they want to empower themselves and build themselves by having businesses or empower themselves and build up themselves through having certain skills, certain education, and and working and contributing in that way. But a good government give people opportunities. And those opportunities were limited in the 1990s. So a lot of people left. Those opportunities went who knows where. A lot of people left. The professionals left, unfortunately. So you can check, and you can even look at the rate of immigration as a guide to say, are there opportunities? Are people getting the opportunities that they need to thrive in this country from this administration and the policies that they have put forth? You see? So I want to know from the audience, right? Which model would you support the most, right? 100% free for everyone affected by the hurricane. So everything's free in the West, right? So that's the first one. So let's call that one number one. 100% free, freeness. B is free initially, and then over over time ownership. So that is number two. Caroline, I think you need to connect. Get it. So, sorry. So yeah, so the second one is free initially and ownership over time. Third one, small affordable payments after recovery. That's the third option. And the fourth one is public private partnership with shared costs. I want to see what the chat thinks about this. There's no wrong answer. It's just to gauge, which one resonates with you. So the model for the container homes. Neighbor had touched on proposing a particular model for the recipients of the homes. But I would like to ask you this. So which model would you support? If it's 100% free, everybody get a free house. If it's initially they get to move in, they don't have to pay anything initially, but over time they would have to, they earn the ownership over the time. The number three is you have a small affordable payment, and I think this is the one that neighbor was suggesting where you pay 2% or whatever after the recovery. The next one is four, which is the public-private partnership with the shared costs. No, that's interesting. Let's see the chat. And there's no wrong answer to this one, actually. Let's see what you have to say in the chat. So the question, Marcia, is which model would you support? And it's just your opinion. It's not right or wrong. It's the one that resonates best with you. If you're supposed to say, okay, the government should do this, which one would you tell the government to do? The first one is give everybody a free house, 100% free for everybody who suffered from the devastating Hurricane Melissa. The second one is you give them the house for free initially, but over time they earn the ownership. So that's the second one. Westlaw said no. The third one is a small affordable payment after recovery. So sorry, not a small, but small affordable payments. So payments over time, small, so that they can afford to live. But like consistent payments after recovery. And the last one, which is number 4, private and public partnership with shared costs. And if you're supposed to say, this is what the government should do, which one is it? Number 3, and that would be small, affordable payments over time. I think that's fair, considering people went through a lot, lost their livelihood, and had to pretty much start over. So I think that's fair. Oh, number 3. Number 3 seems popular. Yeah. Okay. And remember, there's no right or wrong, right? So any of them, they're all just options and your opinion about what the government should do. Link is actually in pinned. Just send it right now. Send it again. But it's pinned chat, and you need to connect your audio. Connect your audio. Caroline. Caroline, it says device is not connected. So just connect and come back in. So I want us to think beyond politics, so beyond any party colors, beyond all the noise that fills the timeline every day, TikTok, YouTube, all over social media, all kind of different opinions that people are putting out there. And I want all of us to think of this simple question. If you lost everything tomorrow, what would matter most? What would matter most? Right? Especially for you well, you've lost a lot in the West. What matters the most to you? Is it political party color? Does it matter whether the roof over your head is built from concrete blocks or timber or recycled shipping container? Right? That's the question. Or is it more important for your kids to have a safe place to sleep? Your children to have a safe community where they can walk freely without fear? Right? Party color lifestyle. Family, right? Good friendship, relationships. So after Hurricane Melissa, thousands of our fellow Jamaicans found themselves without homes, right? Families find themselves with nothing, absolutely nothing. Have to start over. Not even an ID, nothing. Sometimes even the dignity is gone. And our beloved Prime Minister did as best he could to bring back the dignity as all the relief was happening. So now NARA proposes modular and container style homes as a part of the recovery effort. And some people say container homes are not real homes. Really? I'm going to ask, was the first house your grandparents built a mansion or just a humble structure that expanded over time? Could that be a board house? Maybe it's a one room concrete block house. Exactly. Wife style modular homes are expensive. Exactly. They're not cheap. They can cost money. Exactly. And it depends too on the style and the um complexity and all that. Yeah, they can be. But seriously, and this is for the politicians who are critiquing the modular homes, right? What was your grandparents' first house? What it looked like? Was it a board house? Was it a big mansion? And I know most of us are, like we come from humble backgrounds. Our people fought for where we are today. So most of us, especially from back in the day, our grandparents were living in board houses. Eventually, when things got better in the economy, some people upgraded. But the opportunities have to be there. That's the thing. Jamaica's history is one of building from what we had. We didn't wait for nobody to build for us. We built from what we had. Our grandparents, great grandparents with their board house, even parents with board house. Eventually they built some concrete house out of one room. Then they build another room and add it on, and then another one. Right? Okay. Keisha, PMP is at work. Someone is behind this. Well, let's pray a neighbor comes back soon. But that and then the zinc fences, those became block walls because the progress didn't happen overnight. Our small island nation with the humble beginnings, look at where we are now compared to before, right? And I know we have a long way to go, but compared to, say, your great grandparents, you're doing better than your great grandparents, or I hope you are. The truth is, container homes around the world, they're no longer like rusty big steel boxes sitting on a dock, okay? Modular container and modular homes, they are insulated, they're hurricane resistant. You know what I mean? You can have nice, cozy in um air conditioner inside, and you don't have a big bill because you have the insulation inside. Hurricane resistance. Have you seen even some of the concrete homes? Broken 2 and 3 and 4 from Melissa? You couldn't believe it's a hurricane resistant structure. They're energy efficient. And they're designed to international standards. So they use the International Building Code. Right? And across the world, they're being embraced as a sustainable and affordable housing solution all across the world, even here in Canada, same thing. Okay, I see lifestyle. She says she doesn't think that. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up shortly. I'll end the poll and I'll wrap this up shortly. So the question shouldn't be whether the walls once crossed the ocean carrying cargo. Okay. The question should be whether they can now carry a Jamaican family's dream of being in their own home. Of course, government projects should always be transparent. The public deserves to know the cost, procurement process, quality standard, and long-term maintenance plan. Accountability isn't optional, it's essential. But accountability shouldn't be an excuse for paralysis. Every week, spend arguing with another week is another week that a family remains in a shelter, right? All these vote no and holding up process and threatening lawsuit while families are in underneath tarp. Every delay means another child doing homework without a stable home. Every political battle has a human cost. Westmoreland, what's really important to you? Is it orange? Huh? Or is it your family and your kids having somewhere stable to do their homework? Perhaps we should stop asking whether these container homes, um, these are container homes. Maybe we should start calling them what they truly are: recovery homes, opportunity homes, hope homes. Because the disaster strike, the measure of a nation is how quickly it finds response to oppose solutions. Okay, no? It's not about how quickly you find reasons to oppose things, solutions. It is how quickly it comes together to rebuild. So I'm going to ask this question. Westmoreland, would you rather live safely in a modern modular home this year or wait 5 years because you prefer orange? Sometimes progress doesn't arrive wrapped in tradition, okay? And sometimes progress means that you have to turn your back on certain colors. And that is what I am imploring you to do, to choose what's best for you. And orange is not giving you opportunity. Choose what's best for you. All right? All right, so I'm going to end right now. Lifestyle, you are funny. No, we don't. We don't know. The only thing we know that they're up to is propaganda and smear campaigns and trying to cover up all the corruption that their members have happening. That's what we know. But no, otherwise from that, it's just tribalism. And it's tribalism putting yourself, tribalism over yourself. That must be some real cult brainwashing going on there for them to decide that they're going to choose to be tribal over choosing what's in their best interest. That is very cultish. It's the kind of things you see from some of those cults that that has that have existed in America. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna end it here. It seems like neighbor, his power is still out, and I want to thank everyone for staying and listening to my um, thoughts about the container homes. I appreciate you. And for the polls, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna end this. Let's see. So that's interesting. So our poll numbers are in. It's not showing. Okay, let me refresh. Refresh. Okay, there we go. All right. So, should disaster victims receive container homes completely free of charge? 52%. No, they should pay something. 31% yes, but with certain conditions. 14% yes, they lost everything, and 3% not sure. Thank you, everyone, of 134 of you who participated in voting on this. There's no right or wrong. It's just to see or gauge the audience to see what you're thinking. And I want to thank you for participating. So tomorrow we'll be back here at 7 p.m. Jamaica time. I want to thank you for sticking around, and thanks for supporting our show. And hopefully JPS gets it right tomorrow and the lights can stay on so that we can broadcast. I want to thank everybody. Take care of yourself.